Hello guys, what is up? It's your boy Spooky Noodles and I'm back with another video. Today we're doing a tag and this is called the Faces of Horror book tag, or just tag, or maybe not even tag, I don't even know. I saw Books of Blood do this, and then I was watching my friend Working Man's Reads do this. So then I was like, you know what, I might as well do this. And no, I have not seen the original tag yet, but I plan on watching it. I don't know if I'm subscribed to Plagued by Visions or not. I think I am, but I don't know how I would miss this tag, so my bad. But yeah, I have some of the books here that I'm gonna talk about on this list, and some of the books I don't have anymore, and we'll get into that a little bit. Or I just can't find the stinking book, so yeah. But without further ado, let's just jump into the first question, shall we? So, first question is a horror story that scared or disturbed you. First of all, I want to take a second to say no book has really like disturbed me in a sense or scared me. Um, Nothing like that. Maybe as a kid something scared me. Like I read Cirque du Freak series. I read like the first 3 books, and you know that the Cirque du Freak series could probably match, like some of those books could match a lot of the questions on this list, but I'm not going to talk about that YA horror stories series. But I will talk about horror stories I personally do love. So I apologize if you know, this is all opinionated. This is all my answers. So like, I'm sorry if I don't say a book that you found disturbing. So I'm just gonna state that right now. But my answer is Billy Silver, which I have 2 copies of. I have the original copy with this rustic cover on it. And mine is signed back when Daniel J. Volpe was not that well known. He really liked my review of this book. And, oh, let me show you the other cover I have. This is the cover I like more, although the other cover holds a special place in my heart. I like this cover more, plus it has the Edward Lee blurb on it, which is really awesome. I know how much that meant to Daniel J. Volpe, so yeah. And of course, mine is signed. It says, "To Nick, rock on and enjoy the ride." I never noticed how this book is formatted. It's actually, yeah. Is it formatted the same way in this one? Yeah, it is. Didn't know how it was formatted. I usually am very picky with my formats. I won't read a book that has a certain format to it. I'll just buy the ebook instead of the paperback. Or I will discover that it has weird format, and then I'll go and buy the ebook copy because I don't like certain fonts and stuff like that. I'm really picky, you know. That's on me. I'm kind of... what's the word? I'm weird with it. But anyways, Billy Silver is an excellent book. I thoroughly enjoyed it. There is one scene in this in particular that really disturbed me, and it involves, well, I can't really say what it involves because it will give it away. But it has, no, I can't tell you. There's just a scene in this that really disturbed me. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Billy Silver. And it wasn't really disturbing per se, as in like I was like disturbed as in like I couldn't sleep or anything, but like it made me cringe. Like it made me like go, ugh, you know, that's what it made me do. So I'm gonna give that to Daniel J. Volpe. All right, so the next book we're going to talk about is, or the next question is number 2. A horror story that depressed you or made you cry. This took me a little bit of time because there's a few books that have done that to me. But then I realized we're talking horror here. And if we're strictly talking horror, I think only one book's really made me cry in the horror genre. And that would be Fear by Ronald Kelly. My copy is, of course, signed. Ronald Kelly is by far my favorite author. I wish I had a better in better condition paperback version of Fear, and I have like the sticker residue on it too. It's a shame, but oh, there's a piece of hair sticking out. What the heck? I try to keep my favorite books in good condition, but my original copy of Fear was so ripped up. It was like, it didn't say Ronald Kelly. It said like Ronald Kell, because there was a big slash through these letters, and then this corner was ripped up too. And it was because I brought this book everywhere with me because I love this book. And well, I won't skip it. I won't keep skipping around it. The scene that made me cry is near the end. It still makes me feel emotions even to this day. It's one of those stories that stick with you and haunt you. It doesn't have a bad ending, or well, the ending's great, but what I mean by bad ending is that it doesn't have like a negative ending where, well, I don't want to ruin it for you guys, but yeah, it has a good ending, and the whole book's great. But there's a scene, and I'm not going to tell you which character, but there's a scene with a certain character, and it just made my heart drop into my stomach. I felt like I wanted to puke. I wanted to throw the book across the room. I got so angry, and I was crying, like angry crying. And I even messaged Ronald Kelly, like, how could you do this to me? So, yeah, this book really affected me to the point where I've gotten a tattoo on my arm. Let me stand up so you can see this tattoo. I don't know if you can see it that well, but that's the snake critter from the book. And then these are all the victims, the snake-wrapped victims that are mummified. Well, not mummified, but you know what I mean. And then there's a certain, right over here, skull. And I won't get into that because that's another disturbing scene that could have gone for question number 1. But, yeah, Ronald Kelly really brings out some emotions for me in this book, and I really liked it so much. It's hard to make a book list without Ronald Kelly on it, and I was going to try to do that, but in the end, I couldn't help it, and he's on this list twice. So, yeah. All right, next book I don't have on me, but a horror story that made you laugh. I'm going with I Will Rot Without You by Danger Slater. I'll put it somewhere on the screen here, maybe, if I'm not, lazy. That story is just laugh out loud funny. I could put any Jeff Strand book, like the 2 books that I've read by Jeff Strand, Autumn Bleeds into Winter, or actually 3 books I've read by Jeff Strand, Autumn Bleeds into Winter, Dweller, and Ferocious. I could put all 3 of those Jeff Strand titles on this question, but I think I want to go with I Will Rot Without You. That book was strange, and it had some funny moments in it, and I really liked it. I really should have put Jeff Strand here, but I'm going to put Danger Slater here. Not saying anything wrong against Danger Slater, of course. I'm not trying to... I was going to make a funny pun, but never mind. Yeah. I like the story a lot. It was really funny, and I'm putting it there. That's the end of story. No long-winded answer. That's just the end of that answer. So, question. Here we go. Number 4, a horror story that made you angry. Now, I don't have this book on me because the book made me angry. Therefore, I don't own it anymore. I hated that book. And it was one of those books where my family convinced me to finish it. And, because they said, never know, maybe it gets better, maybe the main character changes his views, and yada, yada, yada. So, I read the whole book, and it didn't really change much. It was just, there was, like, some homophobic nature to this book. Like, the way he calls certain characters names and how he depicts them, it's unbecoming, and I don't like it at all. The book I'm talking about, I don't know if I said it already, but it's Bats by William W. Johnstone. I don't know about the author himself. I don't know what he was trying to do with this Bats book. The book was entertaining in a sense that it was like a really bad B movie. Um, I don't want to diss too much on this book. I didn't like it. That doesn't mean it's good for other people. Other people I can see really liking this book, but for me, it left a bad taste in my mouth. So I didn't like it. It made me angry, and I didn't want anything to do with the book. That's why I don't own it anymore. Not like the last book, I Will Out Without You by Danger Slater, where I just don't know where that is. But yeah, Bats by William W. Johnstone made me angry enough to where I don't read the author anymore. But yeah, that's that. So number 5 is a horror story that is important to you. Now, this could be so many books, you know. I could put my first Aaron Beauregard book on here, or I could put Daniel J. Volpe on here with Billy Silver. I could put John Wayne Caminelli here. You know, I just so many authors that can go into this list. But in the end, I think all of y'all know which book is most important to me, and that's Fear by Ronald Kelly. I have a tattoo of Fear on my arm. I mean, how much more fandom can you get there? I love this book so much. There's so much to love. This book has everything. It's just an adventure like no other. I just really like this book. I really, really recommend it to everybody that I hear talk about anything on the internet. I'm like, yeah, you gotta read Fear by Ronald Kelly, especially if you like this, you know. I really like Ronald Kelly's writing. I love the man himself, you know. Fear is an exceptional book. It's so good, and I highly recommend it to anyone who is looking for a really good read, especially coming of age, horror. There's some really horrifying scenes in this book. I won't get into that, but there's some awesome scene. Hell, I'll even throw it out there that there are possibly vampires in this book. Yeah. They're not a big deal, but they might be in this book. But yeah, oh my gosh, this book has so many twists and turns, and it rocks the boat, and oh my gosh, this is an adventure like no other. For me, I put this above so many other coming-of-age horror stories. This is my favorite coming-of-age horror story of all time. Hell, it's my favorite story of all time. So that's why it's most important to me. It saved my life in a way. I was going through a really hard time when I read this book, and I just got dumped by my then girlfriend, or we broke up, and I got laid off from my job. So this book carried me through some really hard times, and I really gotta give it to Ronald Kelly. I think he may be a big reason why I'm still here today. So yeah, that's why this book is so important to me. So yeah. All right, so the final question we have here is a non-horror story that you consider a horror. Now, this is really hard because I can't really think of too many non-horror stories that I've read that could be considered horror. You could probably put Cirque du Freak here, but I think that was a YA horror series. I would definitely put the one with the werewolf in the Cirque du Freak one with the werewolf in this one. I mean, hell, that would be in that books that made me cry section too, or on the list. But I'm not gonna go with Cirque du Freak at all. It's not what we're talking about, you know. I think it's horror, so I don't really know whether to put it here or not. But the book I did eventually go with is Scummer by John Wayne Caminelli. Now, you might be like, this is by Grindhouse Press, and this just sounds, I mean, it should be horror, but it's not really horror. There are some scenes in this where you could be like, damn, that's gross, you know, but it's not anything horrifying. But still, I will label this a horror book, and I will probably die on that hill. My version is signed, and I always got a bunch of really cool John Wayne Caminelli bookmarks. This is no exception. Look at this beautiful bookmark. Look at that. I love this. This is a one-of-a-kind bookmark, and I'm so happy to own it. It's signed. I mean, holy cow. I really love John Wayne Campanelli's writing. But yeah, Scummer was John Wayne Campanelli's longest work until he came out with The Cadillac Man. Um, I know when most people read this, they probably wouldn't consider this one a horror book. And it's not really. You follow this guy who, um, he's like, I wouldn't want to say he's on the precipice of like suicide, but and that's probably not the right way to use prep, whatever. Yeah, he wants to commit, like he's done with his life basically. His life's boring and mundane, and he's just had it with it everything. And one day he goes to a bar and meets a guy named Scummer, and he's just living a life in his eyes. You know, even though he's homeless and he gets, you know, he's gross and stuff. It seems like he's happy, and he really, really wants that, the main character. He wants what Scummer has, and the book takes a weird twist and turn, and then it spirals out of control, and then the end, you're like sitting there like, what did I just read? So, yeah, this is a great book. I don't know, I think that was a better review than what I actually did for this book. But I think I just said, oh, I loved his writing and the characters and yada, yada, yada. But yeah, this book was just awesome, mind-blowing. John Wayne Campanelli's best work in my eyes so far. And my friend actually, I'm not going to say his name because I know he doesn't like to be shouted out. But my friend turned me on to John Wayne Campanelli. This is the one book he told me it's a must read, and I read it, and I must agree it's a must read. It's a lot of fun, and I highly recommend it. So yeah, this is a book that is probably non-horror, but I'd consider it horror. So yeah, and that is it for this book tag. Oh, I got a bruise there. When did that? Oh, it hurts. But anyways, I moved a couch. Actually, I moved a lot of stuff on Sunday. So really, I've only had 2 days off this week, Monday and today, Tuesday. But Monday or Sunday, I moved my dad from one house to another house with my sister, my uncle, and his neighbor, my dad's neighbor at the time. And he's obviously no longer his neighbor, but we all helped him move, and my dad dropped a couch, and all the weight of the couch basically went on me, and I was holding it, and my right hand slipped as soon as my dad's grip on the couch let up, and the whole couch landed on my like bicep on my arm, and I tried to hold it up because my dad didn't want it to be scuffed or anything. So yeah, that's why I got the bruise. It's not a big bruise at all. As you can see, I'm making a big deal out of that. But my whole arm hurts. So yeah. But yeah, that's the book tag. I wanted to quickly give you some news about my writing. Writing has been good, but I haven't done it a lot. Does that make sense? When I do write, I can jam out 300 words easily, you know, and I know that's not a lot to a lot of people, but I have been having a hard time enjoying things that I usually enjoy. So I don't know what that is. It's probably depression, but you know, I'm trying to get over it, try to do things I love to do, and just force myself to do them until I love them again. Because I'd hate to lose this, you know, hobby of mine. But yeah, writing's going well. I started a Michigan Dogman story. I even made a trailer for it. I got a cover being made. It should be awesome. In fact, the trailer should go up on my channel soon. I'm thinking it will go up probably at the same time this video goes up. It's a cool little trailer. And also, I'm offering services. So if anyone wants for me to make a book trailer for them, just shoot me a message. I have an email. It's authornicholasgray@gmail.com. or you can shout me out on, or email me at splatterinc.publishing@yahoo.com. I have those two emails, so message me for services for trailers. I can make pretty okay trailers, and I'm not selling it very high, am I? But I usually do a minute to 1 minute and 20 second trailers. I have my own multiple stash of songs I use. So just hit me up if you want a book trailer. I only charge $25, so to make them. I use free to use videos. My music's all original, so it's not gonna get you copy striked or anything like that. But yeah, if you want those services, I'm offering them. Only $25 to get your book a trailer. That's actually a pretty good deal, seeing how I see. Well, even though it's much better trailers than what I can produce, I see people sell their trailers for like $100 on Fiverr to $500 on Fiverr. So I'm actually a pretty cheap way to go, and my trailers aren't that bad. So I highly recommend it. Just watch the trailer I will release on my channel. It's my Michigan Dogman story trailer. I also have a 9 Lives trailer, and my friend wrote a book called Blood Lanes, which I made a trailer for. So definitely go check out my trailers. I'll release one today as well. And yeah, hopefully you guys use my services. Like I said, only $25 PayPal for a book trailer that I think is a pretty good trailer, if you ask me. I do pretty good trailers. And if you need specific images used, just send me, just send me all the information you need for your book trailer, and I'll cook something up for you. But anyways, that's it. I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope you have a spooky night, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out, guys.